Welcome back to another day at 80 acres here. It is, despite the snow, this is the last day for the wood boiler. I am shutting her down. We got the fire in the house going now. Put that on last night. So now I'm gonna clean the boiler, kind of go through all that with you guys. I'm just gonna follow the steps that they told me and the dealer told me. Step one is I'm gonna pull out all the firewood and I'm just gonna toss it back in my bin. This has been off for like 2 days now, and I just shut it off. So the pumps are gonna continue to circulate. I'm gonna leave the pumps, the circulating pump and the one that pumps to the house and back, that we're just gonna leave running 24/7 all summer too. A lot of people recommend that. It just keeps everything moving. You don't get a spot or any separation between the coolant stuff, and keeps all the seals and everything all nice and moisturized. They don't leak, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna try it. Some people say do it, some people say don't. We're going to. But yeah, a lot of it is going to be just trying to get a lot of this creosote and whatnot off of here. I think if I let it cool down, or I think it's pretty cool now, I think it should just kind of, yeah, it should just kind of scrape off of here. So probably I'm going to use a piece of kindling so I don't scratch up the steel or mess up the stainless in there, and I'll just kind of go around, scrape it all out. I took 3 or 4 pails of ash out of here. So pretty much it was filled right up to the line there across with ash. So now what we're dealing with is it's got this layer of crust around it. So right there is where I was kind of chiseling away with the shovel a little bit, and it seems to be the best bet. It's just some really weird cooked on creosote or something. I don't want to damage these side plates where the air comes in, so I'm being gentle around that. And then right dead center, right here, that's where your ash falls down into the bottom chamber, right? So if you're gonna start at the top, stuff will fall on the bottom, and then I gotta clean the whole bottom out too. So I'm gonna just work away at chiseling that off. Look at this stuff coming out of there. It's like crystallized coal, I guess. That's the side that was facing out. Oh, that's a piece that I just bust off with the shovel. Super cool. Got the tiger torch just to try and warm up some of the creosote down there, and it ended up starting a chimney fire. So I was trying to cook off some of the stuff up top there, and it lit up, and I turned it back on. I'm letting the fan run. So in my opinion, I think letting it burn now is better because I'm watching it. It's not happening, you know, if I wasn't home in the fall and it was dry or something. So this is probably better now than any other time. You guys helping me? Not really. Where's Onyx? Oh, kitty cat. Onyx is out ripping around somewhere. She's the one always getting in trouble. Arrow listens a little better. Anywho, this is what I've resorted to. I'm just chipping away tiny little pieces, a little smack at a time, from this brick of so I've been at this for about 20 minutes at least. I'll check back in when I'm a little bit closer to done. So I just keep going through cycles of getting it hot with the tiger torch, but not like hot enough to worry about cracking the titanium stainless, and then I'm scraping more and more of it. But you can see there, so that's how this whole unit works. So these little holes on the side is where the air comes in, and then it gets sucked straight down through that crack. So that's just that little bit of creosote down there that fell in, and then as soon as the tiger torch even just got it slightly burning, now the air pulling past it just gets so hot that it's pretty much incinerating it. And then the lower chamber, which is way down underneath there, so that down there is where it's taking the gas that's coming off of this from burning, and then it's burning that gas as well. And so for how much is burning there, there's always very little smoke that comes out. I wouldn't say it's exactly smokeless, but it's very close. So I believe that is as clean as I'm gonna get that. All the rest of this is just absolutely caked on. It does kind of light on fire with the Tiger torch, but I'm just worried that I'm gonna warp or crack burn box in here. So pretty good. I gotta clean the bottom side. What I'm doing right now is I just sprayed the whole front of this with Goo Gone, which I have found is the best thing for removing creosote. So it seems to eat away at it really well. On the back side where the actuator is for letting in air, sometimes that gets jammed up because it'll, a little bit of creosote builds up in there. Break it free, spray a bunch of Goo Gone, let it actuate itself back and forth a couple times as you just keep spraying the Goo Gone in, and then it just eats away at all that, and then it runs good for another bunch of months. Well, now that that's about as shiny as it will get. Couldn't get this stuff off. I really don't know what it is. I mean, you can see my reflection in the rest of it, so that's pretty shiny, but I don't know what this stuff is. It's like cooked right into it. But next step is taking all the ashes out. So I got out my plug and I got out the diversion from the side here. So this little guy, when I first bought the unit, I could not get this thing out. It was like glued in place or something, but it is supposed to come out. So it slides from left to right, and then it rotates and comes out. And then the plug that just goes in and does like a quarter turn. So I use their two tools. I got the little half moon, I got the weird scraper thing. The key with this is you have to go right to the back and you have to rotate it so that this side is up, and then go all the way behind this chamber, drop it down, and then pull it out, because it needs to get from all three sides of this burn chamber. So a couple seconds later, we've got 99.9% of the ash out. I'm going to show you a trick to get out a lot more yet. You can see, so it's about half a pail because I had a bunch of the other black stuff in there. Not a whole lot. I'm going to try and scrape some of this stuff off too, and then we'll get this cleaned right out. So I did have to chisel a little bit of buildup that was behind here, but the plug goes in, quarter turn, half turn, whatever you want to call it. Now this one, with the rounded side facing in, goes past, hooks on the back side of that brick, right, like that, and you slide it. Oh, wrong order. I gotta do this one first. Slide that into there, and then put that one in like that. Basically all this is doing is just as the air circles back through here, so it comes down into this one first, goes around the back side of it, pulls it through here, around this corner, and then through there, then behind. Then behind all this is where the rakers are that then go up, and then it shoots across and then out past the fan. So it does such a long swirl, and it gets so hot down in this secondary chamber that it basically incinerates everything, which is why there's so little ash that comes out of here. And then yeah, it just shoots it out, and you're almost like, clean smoke, if that's even a thing, comes out of the chimney. But that should be all done. We'll move to the backside. So in behind here, you're gonna want 9/16 wrench or a ratchet, those 4 nuts, and these 4 nuts. These 4 nuts you just have to loosen off enough that you can rotate counterclockwise, line them up with here, pop it off. These ones come right off. There's one plug up in here. Let's see if I can do that right now. Which actually has a nice plug, so you don't have to worry about one of those stupid clips. Unplug that, now the fan just comes right out. Right, got my plate off. Gives you access into your rakers. So this is how your rakers work. When you pull your handle, you're moving these kind of corkscrew things up and down in their holes, and that just helps clean out all this creosote and ash and everything that builds up from plugging up your exhaust tubes and stopping the airflow, which then mixes so that your wood doesn't burn. So there's your fan. So this is not that bad. I took it apart once earlier in the season when it really got loaded up, and I think it's just because it was too warm outside and it wasn't burning hot enough, so it filled with creosote. Also, I think a lot of this junk just burnt off when I was having that little bit of a chimney fire. So your chimney is the silver thing right there, and you see that square hole leads into it, which is just through that second chamber, and that is where, you know, that round circle there is the flap that opens when you do your bypass, and it's all the same chamber as this. So it's a pretty simple system. It's basically just going to clean it out, and I think I'm just going to hit all that with the leaf blower, close my eyes, and try and blow as much junk out as I can. So I did find one problem here. So with my rakers, so you see the slot, it should go, pretty sure it's supposed to use that entire slot. You see how it's only using half of it? And you can also see that little stop up there. I believe that should rotate all the way till it touches the back. So that tells me that this has slowly got gummed up, even with me using it every morning to clear the holes out, to the point where I only have about half of the row is what it started with. Or it happened so slowly that I never noticed. So I gotta try and get that freed up. So I don't know if it's a safe recommendation or not, but I sprayed Goo Gone down all 6 of those holes, worked it for a while to get it looser, and then I took the Tiger torch, and then I basically just put it in there for like 2 seconds. You can see it's sucking the air through there, and it's actually burning the Goo Gone. And in burning the Goo Gone, it seems to have burned a lot of the gunk that was in there too. I've been working it back and forth. We're almost there at full throw again. Another thing worth noting is when you leave it for the summer, just leave it on that first click, top and bottom, to let air flow through, because you want this to not turn into a greenhouse. If you seal it right up, it can create condensation inside and then start rotting everything out. So they tell you to just leave it cracked open, let the air pass through it. It can go through here, out the chimney, vice versa, all through, and it'll prevent it from having rusting, corrosion, gunk building up, things seizing, you know, all that kind of not fun things to find in the fall when you go to light it up again. All right, she is off. I will put the back cover back on, and that is it. So once again, thanks for watching 80 Acres. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Do all kinds of interesting things around here on our acres that we have. We're all solar powered, off grid. Lots of firewood stuff because of the wood boiler. Always tinkering with things, but yeah, I just figured I would do a video on how to clean and shut down your HeatMaster gasification boiler in the springtime. There's not a whole lot out there on this, so hopefully that's kind of a, you know, all-in-one type of a video for everyone. So basically, clean it and take care of it. It'll last a lifetime.